Okay, so we're here in Uşak Short Film Festival 2020. We're very thrilled to have Dekel Nitzan's
Nitzan, yes.
intelligent and creative movie Noah with us. So thanks so much we're honored that you sent your movie to us. And it was an honor to show of Turkish audience your movie. I want to start just as I said. I think your movie is both intelligent and artistically creative. That's a blend that we see, and it's a very powerful storytelling. It's like story within story. It has like classical part of it, like telling classical, universal, nearly as old as human history story, which is male-female relationship and infidelity. But we also have the present layer, the current layer of joblessness, even specifically joblessness in university graduates, even more recent team, story within story, and this. But uh, all this big and universal picture, the name is Noah to your movie, the female character. And then
Yes.
also even in the poster, the man we don't see much clear, but Noah is clear. So it seems like why did you choose the name Noah? Why did you choose it? Did you want the audience to focus on Noah or generally the female? If so, why? Did you, or if so, why?
Well, I didn't hear the last sentence.
I mean, did you want the audience to focus on Noah and female? If you did, why?
Okay, so I'll start from the end. Yes, I wanted to focus on the female character, on Noah. Actually, the script for the film started from a scene I wrote about a couple meeting in a hotel room and having an affair. And I started, I kind of knew who was the male character. And I wasn't sure this female character what kind of person she is. So I started to explore her and I started to deal with their relationship. And the more I continued to write, I noticed that I'm kind of attracted to this character, this female character was really interesting for me. And also I was kind of drawn to this kind of character from like cinematic characters I knew, or even some like characters in my personal life I kind of inspired from. And at some point I just understood while I started to develop the script that I want the film to be a character based narrative, and it will focus on this kind of specific character and her efforts like to kind of get out from the loop she's stuck in her life, and to feel belonged and to feel loved. And well, then it started to become like the script that it's now. I mean, I brought the like personal aspect that it's connected to these kind of villages or settlements. I grew up in the north of Israel, and living really close to these kind of villages, and I had a close connection to these kind of places. So I kind of decided to put this character in this kind of place. And about the name, it's interesting because I never really talked about it with anyone, but one of the things that I really like the name Noah, and I chose the name of the film because I wanted to be to be like in the poster, that it will be sure that that the film is about this character. But what's interesting is that in Hebrew, if you when you write Noah without punctuation, it could be also the name Noah, and it could also mean the feminine diversion of the verb moving, like she's moving.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
so I thought about it. It's kind of nice that it's like her name is also in a way kind of description of her, like she is moving. She's like it kind of connected with the cycle and her will to go
Yes,
on
bike,
with things
bike.
and
She's always on a bike.
yes, and Exactly. So I always thought about it. It's kind of nice. I mean, only when like when I suddenly one day I read it on my script and said, I it kind of made it more clear that I wanted to be like the name of the character and not like a different name. So, um, but yes, I mean the idea was to focus on this character and hence like the poster and the name, and about this bigger story and small story and like the universal, I think there is something really accurate about it because I knew that I wanted to deal with something that people from all around the world will understand, and I wanted to be very specific about her situation and about generally I, I didn't want it to be like an immigrant and wanting to get into a group of local people. I didn't want to make her like poor and all the other are very extremely rich. I wanted to make this character, like you said, like a graduate from university that maybe took the wrong turns or some things went bad during the course of her life, and somewhere in the middle she's kind of got out of the place she wants to be, and she's kind of stuck in this loop, and which is, I wanted to make it more relevant to the life, I think, for younger people, also in Israel, but also in other parts of the world, that not only to show the difference of classes, but also inside this middle class or people
Yeah.
that are educated and are sure that they're on the fast lane to success, or they have this image that they want to achieve, and I wanted it to be to focus also on her personality. That's something that's kind of influenced the way that she's able to find a job or not, or because of her character, and not only because she's coming from like a low class and all the others are from like very high class.
Yes,
So
I understand. Yeah, that's what I felt in the movie anyway. It's like layered, and if you want to look at wide, there's a wider, there bigger narration going on in a way. I'll come to it later again. And it's also this very specific, and I'm a wildlife biologist, and I kind of have sometimes friends who lose jobs and gets again, and uh, we are not necessarily jobless, uneducated, non-qualified. We have different kind of pressures, and we are sometimes gearing up like we're like an arrow. The pressure makes that. So anyway, so can I jump to my second question now, or did
yeah,
I interrupt you?
yeah, it's
Okay.
okay.
So that's good because when you consider it like a loop where Noah is, as I said, we discussed it a little bit earlier. For me, she's like has a dormant power. So I don't want to lose what I want to say either. So I mean, for me, um, I noticed it in a strange way. I noticed it, although I am. I mean, I felt like watching it. Surely this is what is very important about cinema actors. She didn't allow me to be so sad for her. I thought about it later because actually there's everything ready for me to be sad for her. The first already things that happen to her, a single mother has to take care of mother. There's a maybe mother is little bit her erratic behavior, maybe she's little bit also the neighbors, the tension, and she's jobless and being rejected maybe often those days, like one after another, we don't know. And also towards the end already she gets abandoned maybe again, and then she cries, but still there was this difference, like I didn't feel like watching the movie as Noah, but then
Yeah.
I thought it's just like what you said, because you really very nicely made her character so out there. She's strong, so you don't really find yourself just being sad for her. So I felt like she is at a dormant, like a seed power in her. So even, for example, bike to me, I don't know, I mean, first I must say this. dormant because I thought anytime anything can change. Like, she's educated. It just sometimes just luck and stuff. It's not because she can't qualify. Maybe a day will come, 3 days later, sure, life can change like that. Or like another bachelor, but this time a bachelor person can come to this firm and can fall in love with her because she's beautiful. She's not fat. I'm sorry, but for women it's a big issue. So for this character, physically and internally, she's like so much dormant power. And even the bike to me was like, it's not like I can't afford a car or I have to drive. No, all her dress and everything, she's fit. This times of yoga and everything. She's so close to I have it all person. She can be like, I have it all, and it wouldn't be given to her. She's already has it. It's just
Yeah.
we sometimes just need luck or just opportunities. And although I didn't have reference point to the actress Sharon Toll, right?
Shawantal, yeah.
It's sometimes nice, I think, that we don't, because then it can get prejudice or spoiler
Yeah.
effect. So maybe because I didn't know, I decided her calmness, calm, very calm, even sometimes looking cold, face and body movements, maybe in a way good that doesn't allow us to be sad and realize this dormant powers of her. But I also thought, again, in your general storytelling, the accidents and some other things, the little tensions, anything can change anytime thing. I even thought rooster was a symbolic of that, like a new day can start anytime. Um, dawn. But if I come back to the rooster, it keeps breaking, just like you say. Maybe something's going bad for her. Um, and then it's like, okay, she might look calm, cold, but what about she's really traumatized? And because it's a short and very nicely structured and told story, we can also say that, yeah, maybe she's just frozen. She's just, traumatized and she fears to feel. Who knows what the baby's father did to her and what happened to the mother and etc. Constant neighbor bullying. So you also kind of think there must be so much gone through this character, also who portrayed it, and how you work with the actress. So, and I want you to tell a little bit about that, the actress and how she portrayed. Also, did anybody else interpret the movie like me? Say this dormant power or whatever. And I'm curious.
Mm. Well, about the feeling about the dormant and about the film, I think that what really was interesting after showing the film in film festivals or even to in rough cut sessions was that this is my fourth film, and from all of my films, my short films, it was the one that was most divided by, I think, by the conception of the audience, and mostly about because of the character. Because some audiences, I think, felt that this dormant power, this it kind of, they kind of felt, I don't really need to sympathize with her because she can, she's very distant and like she can do whatever she wants and it's not really a problem. And other people really felt close to her or really understood her as a character. And I think I kind of knew all along the way when I wrote this character that it's kind of going to be like this. That this is a character that is not so easy to digest, or to it has like this. It's like I see it as a really like a thin layer that or you can really understand it or feel it, and some people can't. And I decided to take this chance because um, I feel that what's interesting for me about her is that it's like you say that everything can change, maybe like every day or tomorrow, or thing can happen, and specifically because of that, because um, she could have. had it all. I when I wrote her, when I wrote the character of Noah, and when I wrote this film, I always kept in mind about this kind of the opposite of like what she wants, and I saw this perfect picture families, like a whole families, young couples with children living in these suburban villages, and this kind of dream. And in Israel, I feel that there is something very conservative about the way that people are. You go to the army, then you study, then you get married, and you have children, and there's something very going like in this in a way that everybody kind of goes. And for her, um, I think she kind of missed something in the way, and all these things that happen. The partner who left, and the mother she got kind of stuck with, and the baby, and the job searching, and everything is kind of a whole. And she in her, she kind of feels that maybe just with one opportunity, small opportunity, she can get out of this.
Mhm.
What you talk about, I think she uses this dormant power to try to change it, and unfortunately, and doesn't matter what she thinks she could achieve, it still kind of is disappointing at the end. um and even more than this, I at some point I had to kind of reduce the dormant power. For example, when she's going to a job interview, I kind of wrote this monologue, which is she's like very confident, and you see that she really knows what she's talking about regarding the job. And I wanted to take it out because it felt that she has too much power. That she's like
Ah, yeah, you're
uh,
right. Okay.
it's
Yeah,
even
you're
so.
right.
Uh, and yeah, and with Sharon, I think that what the most amazing thing that she's amazing. She's an amazing actress, and what's really interesting is that she's a very lovely person, and she's like a very friendly. And but when we did auditions, and when we talked, I noticed that something in her, she can understand this character, and she can understand her vulnerability, even though she's reflecting something different, and even though she's distant, and she could understand this like this distance, and what she's screening outside. And we worked a lot about not making her like too detached on one hand,
Mm.
and yet like to make it a process, that she's starting like very cold, but
In
at
the
some
end,
this
towards the end.
relationship is kind of, I always want it to be a bit tricky, and a bit
Mm.
you know a bit gentle, and not so interpreted, that I didn't want it that she's like falling in love. And she's like,
Yes.
I want it always to be like with a question mark. She's like, something happening. She's feeling something. She's not sure where is it going. And this was the idea, that not to make it like really obvious, and really, like cliche, that you say, okay, this it starts from this, and then they're like, she never thought that he's going to leave his wife, but something inside of her hope that it will change something in her life, like you said, like this. She uses all the dormant power, but it still doesn't help her.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, actually, in my opinion, even if she's there with an intention of getting a job, it still doesn't, because infidelity issues are so universal. Nobody
Yeah,
knows unless you're in her situation. Maybe
yeah,
everybody would do it if they're
yeah.
so helpless. Who knows? So it's good that there's open doors to her character. Maybe no, maybe she does, but it's good because then if you watch it again, I watched a couple of times, and you still embrace something. And this is the powerful art, because if you watch something once and there's no need for another, it doesn't make you think
Yeah.
or feel anything else, then it is not good artwork. So I am going to move on to another audience question, because when we are for our supporters, we allow them to ask questions. So this question is from Figen Kurtoğlu, who has been supporting our festival for 3 years. We're very thankful to her. So her question also starts with a little comment about your movie. She wanted us to tell you that it's a very brave movie, and it also, for her, it shows woman as sufferer. She saw it like that. Probably it includes not just Noah and Yair's wife as well, for sure, and even maybe
I
her
think.
mother. Also, she thought like showing a universal haven, the mothers, where
Yeah.
especially at the end, where she
At the end, yeah.
knows somebody can think whatever about her mother, but her mother is very supportive, and we
Yeah.
see
That's
in our support systems. So I don't know who is people who don't have good parents. I hope they have good aunties. I don't know what else to say. Okay, so Figen Kurtoğlu is just saying that when she sees this accident, she really emphasizes being an accident. Um, Maybe it fits with anything can happen anytime in the movie, like it is an accident, and it happens with in such a way that after the man gives the woman the bicycle bell, she thought it's so meaningful, but she wanted us to ask you, what does it mean, or is there symbolism for something?
okay. So first of all, yes, the accident, it was really implied that, it kind of portray how this relationship is going to end, or
Hmm.
where it's from. So it had like it was really intentional. About the bell, well, I gotta say that I didn't want it to be like there's no it's not doesn't symbol anything specifically in the sense that as a bell, but the idea was that I I thought to myself, okay, I wanted to make Yair's character also like I didn't want to make him flat, and I explored him and I thought about him a lot, and I said, okay, they have this connection, and things are starting to become more emotional, and I tried to put myself in his shoes, and I said, okay, what kind of like this kind of person, how will he show affection, or what will he give her that will be on one hand like very intimate, because they thought about something that connected to their story and to them, and I thought about it and said, okay, he's this kind of guy who will on the one hand bring like this present, which is like really kind of funny because he's like
Yes.
um it like it's like connected to us and to the accident in something very personal. And on the other hand, something about him is a bit, is a bit snobbish, or maybe he's like still putting himself a bit like above her, and like maybe saying that like you should be responsible, or
Mm.
you you need to ring every time you're out, and I'll know that you're out there. So it's something that's like have two meanings, like this like small artifact that's connected to their story, and also is kind of reflecting their who has the more power in this connection. It's like and I didn't want it to be like something, I didn't want to be like a ring or a flower, or I didn't want it to be like a cliche
Mm.
or a romantic, something more, more personal, more to the daily life, and maybe even make it a bit, I don't know, like kind of portray him as, this kind of very how do you say, like he's like meaningful, he's like very think about himself like in this way, and kind of he's romantic on the on one hand, but still a bit,
Yeah.
full of himself.
Yeah, actually, I think what you said, it's something I quote whenever they first make love, and also the other times when they're still half naked or just after make love. His body gestures
Yeah.
kind of tells that he's little maybe above or more in control, or he has the power. And it is there I can pass to my next question. Maybe it even your classical big even became to me more archaic or even evolutionary, close to animals. Me, this sex maybe we don't have always context of breeding, but maybe so in our genes, so to the bone, like him. Despite he seems like a caring whatever character, that that part of him is more obvious, maybe because that's our most intimate moment, as if like he there you see in him like the way he would sometimes place his head. I can remember his body. But for me, mostly Noah was your character who takes always keeps us in the present tense. But when she urinates at the bed in the bed, that's where I also thought she immediately pulls the whole storyline. And okay, if you want archaic element, here's mine. This bed could have been mine, like territorial cat behavior. So that was
Yeah.
powerful scene. What did you have in your mind? And do you think if it was a full feature film, would it be as effective? For me, it was very nice in time, everything, the tension, the level of tensions. Just before the party, the guys again hit the house with a stone or something. So it was like very powerful.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear it. Yeah, what you say is, I think, kind of points out to my intentions. I mean, I really wanted to show this kind of point of break. Something that like there's no more control, and because something in her is like very hurt, and it took me a long time to. I tried many endings while I wrote it, and at some point I thought about this, like something like a bit animal, or I even said, okay, something that is, I thought about it at the beginning, like something that is almost uncontrollable, the next example would be like puking, or somebody who's like falling apart. And I said, okay, something in this, like very very, I didn't want to be provocative. This was not the idea. I didn't want to be just provocative with this, but the idea was to take this character and to, um, to make her, like you say, like the most animalish as I can. On the way that something is falling apart, and this is her kind of revenge. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
I get it.
when I said, okay, when she's entering this bed, even before she's like doing this act, she's like going around, she's looking at it, she's kind of picturing that maybe, like you said, this could be mine, this could be my, like, she suddenly kind of understand that this will never be her. I mean, even if in her mind it could have been, it's like kind of this, like, when she sees the pictures of them, like, she kind of understands something, and then it kind of comes out. She's like, it's she's half drunk, she's like very very hurt, and raged also. And this is kind of, this is also why I wanted to, even at the party, when she's like almost breaking apart, I still wanted like, we worked a lot about it with Sharon, that like to try to keep it, because this, like, everything burst out, it's when she's alone in the bedroom. And about like the feature film, it's interesting because I heard a lot of people saying to me that they they could have seen a feature film out of this. and
No,
uh,
no, I was meaning the other, because in short film
and,
festival,
and
I am saying it is. Huh, you got me right. I'm
yeah,
not
that's what
saying
that's
it
what
could
I'm
have
saying.
been a full feature movie. No,
Yeah,
no,
no, I
I'm
understand
just
what you're
saying.
saying. I mean, that's why I say it's interesting, because I heard some that a lot of people, not a lot,
Huh?
but some told me, yeah, we would like to see more of it, and it could have been developed.
Mm.
And I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, for me, it felt,
Yeah.
it,
You're right. You saw those two questions. Now I get it. Okay, then we stop it. It doesn't matter. Let's me. It's good. I actually really enjoy talking with you. The characters, and I'm sorry we don't have so much time for maybe the mother character more Yair, but even Yair's wife. But I want to wrap it up with coming back again to the maybe what first caught me of your movie, which is joblessness and university graduate. I don't see the story much, and I want to then attach this to this thing that festivals, when I was a pre-selection jury for the first time this year, I watched hundreds of films, even if they didn't make it, even if they're not good, they're trying to explain, and it was so much of a strong experience. Then you see the same problems in different corners of the world. You would say, oh, is he exaggerating this year in a movie? I would nearly say it for a Turkish movie. Then I saw a movie from Argentina, nearly the same, you know? So it is so strong. And I think this gives people who watch also probably and hopefully solidarity, hope. We're not alone. There's all these others in the other corner, the same problem. So how do you view the festivals from the center? For me, if the festival audience is also there in limited time, watching hundreds of movies and the same stories and the strong experience, maybe we can work together, be better societies, helping one another, raising one another's voice. What do you think about festivals?
Well, in this matter, I got to say that I'm kind of a captive audience because I love festival. I love film festivals. I think that film festivals always, for me, has been like the ultimate platform your materials, to show your films. I got to say that I agree with what you say. That I love it that I have the opportunity to see films from all around the world, from filmmakers that maybe I would never could have meet with their creations without film festivals. And it's always interesting to see that people think sometimes really alike, and also you can discover
Yes.
things and new cultures and behaviors. But regarding film festivals, actually, I think now it's very interesting what will happen because with COVID-19, I can say I can really feel the you know the tries of the film festivals to be like relevant, and even without cinemas and even with like online, and then so far there's a lot of film festival I got to say about Uşak that is like doing really great job, and I think it's like
Thank you.
it's challenging. um I don't know why I really wonder what will happen in the future, and I think that also even before COVID-19, I kind of noticed that film festival are they kind of need to give a fight back to Netflix and to other content platforms that are like algorithm based, and people are seeing the same things um every day, and film festivals have their like agenda and their like their tries to bring different cinema and different kind of content, and it's amazing. And I just wonder if there's like not if things are not going to extremes. It's like there are a lot of film festivals today. There are a lot of filmmakers,
Yes.
and uh, it's very hard. You try to find yourself between all this. Uh, Also, as a filmmaker, you see that there are a lot of middlemen, like online platforms that you can submit the film festival to, and so things are changing. I feel not only this year but even before, and I love film festival, and I hope that it will still continue to be this kind of cinematic event that celebrate cinema and film, and yeah, and that thing will get back to track.
Oh, thanks so much for your time. I really enjoyed. I didn't understand how time passed because I really like your film. I feel like I didn't even start talking about it, but hopefully we're gonna be in touch, and I'll try to find if they're available or other films as well. I would like to know you as a director for more as
Lovely.
well as also writer. And thanks so much, as I said, and I wish you and all your loved ones healthy 2021, and hope to see you either again like this or face to face. We just have to keep safe and healthy. Thanks so much.
And thank you also for everything. And I had a great time talking with you. Thank you very much.
All right. evening. Bye.
Bye bye.